Alright, welcome back again. We are starting a new construction project. We've finished with the castle, we've finished for the most part with the town. There's a few minor things I want to do to the town, but for the most part we're done. So now we need a new project, and for that I'm coming over here to a large hill of sand that is right by our giant piece of pixel art and right near the castle. One of our new train stations, or one of our train stations, not necessarily a new one, but come on, there we go. So I want to level this off, and I find that the easiest way is just to use the old torches underneath the sand trick. Quite honestly, digging this sand out by hand, just not high on my want to do list. It does make this a little bit faster. So what we're going to build here is we're actually going to build a nice large multi-story building. Something that looks much like an office tower, and we're going to extend it out a good bit into the sand here. This isn't going to be some small little tower. This is something that you would see in a major city, or well, yeah, a major city of some sort. Now there are some challenges to this construction project. The first being that I can't seem to put torches in the right spot. The second being there's actually train tracks running where this needs to go, and I can't easily move the train tracks. They actually extend quite a ways and are connected to some causeways and bridges and other things that I'd rather not tear apart and reposition all my tracking. So I'm going to have to cut that, is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to find another way to run all of this, or another way to handle with these tracks running underneath here. So here's the beginning of our track building here. Now these tracks, of course, are not all hooked up. I mean, that's pretty obvious. This one is, however, and it's actually in a very long run. There's quite a distance that it travels. So I don't really want to mess with that. And I also happen to really like this little trap that was built. Let's see here. Can I make you go away? Bye-bye. So I like this little trap that was built here, and we'll probably use it for other things. And it was really just constructed mainly as a demo, and you can see this one's broken, actually. I don't know why. But we want to kind of save this, or at least incorporate this into the structure in some way. Maybe it's a loading dock, or a way to get trash upstairs. I don't know, but we want to incorporate it. It was built, and so let's use it. I'm not so worried about it fitting into the surroundings, quite honestly. Having it right up against a train station does look kind of odd, but I'm okay with that. I'm also thinking these open areas here, they were originally designed to be used for like slums or something of that effect. But I might actually incorporate it in, make sort of an H building, shaped in some sort of H style perhaps. I'm not really sure, but I know I want to do something that incorporates the train tracks so I can be lazy and not move them, but also that doesn't really fit with the rest of the area. We've got our castle. It's very medieval. It fits the standard Minecraft structure. It's a castle. We have our train stations that don't really fit that mold. They're sort of nouveau structures, something that we would expect to see today. But we don't really have something that screams, I don't really want to say City of the Future because it sounds too Disney, but City of the Future, I guess. And the only way I can see to do that is to build a skyscraper type building, maybe with a few little flourishes. Now, of course, because we're in vanilla, we don't have access to the elevator tracks, so we do have to walk the entire height of the building. So the taller we make the building, the longer the walk is to get to work every day. But I think we can let our Minecraft citizens just deal with that. I want to take this tower up several stories to give some very strong structure for this little town. We do have a smokestack there that goes up quite a ways, and of course we have our pixel art all over the place that goes up many, many stories. But we want to find something that the citizens can go into, maybe make it an apartment building, a condo building, office tower, I'm not really sure yet. And remembering that we don't have all of the small blocks of Tekkit, it does create some limitations. You know, I'm going to, at some point, punch through somewhere and find sand falling on my head, but... And we want to build this. Oh, there is the sand I was talking about. Shoot. Alright. Okay. We do want to build this as much as we can outside of creative mode. I really prefer to use creative mode only for fixing large-scale mistakes or things of that style. I don't really like building all of my buildings out of creative mode. It seems to take a lot of the fun out of Minecraft. What's the point if everything is at your fingertips? Honestly, just go play Tekkit, I guess. It's easy enough with the EE mods. But original Minecraft wasn't... Is that under there? No. In original Minecraft, you were always scrambling for resources. You were always hoping you had enough to finish whatever you were doing. Yeah, I find that to be a challenge. It does remind me of, you know, Legos. You always had some great construction in mind while you were building your Lego whatever. And the question was always, do I have enough Legos to complete this construction? In many cases I did not. So there we go. So I find this to be fun, to be challenged, to complete what I'm doing when I could easily run out of materials to do what I think I want to do. And think I want to do is probably the most apt statement I can make, because I don't have this planned out. I haven't sat down and mapped out everything I want to do. I just have some rough ideas, some thoughts about what I might want to see. Come on, there we go. But I haven't really thought about what goes best. This is an eclectic, I mean, where else do you see giant pixel art and skulls, and there's somewhere over there's my boat that I never finished, sitting on the middle of a desert. Where else do you see that kind of thing? So we want to kind of keep that theme going, that theme of very eclectic, but at the same time, we want to make it something that we can look at, we can step back and say, that is an awesome looking building. Now the gang over at the Voxel Box did a skyscraper. They did it in creative mode using World Edit. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that, and the building they came up with was actually very nice. Get that and that. Kind of get this evened out here. And there's nothing to detract from using World Edit or anything like that. It's just not something I want to do. Not the least of which I don't actually know how to use World Edit very well, so inevitably whatever I do turns out to be a roaring disaster. Bottom. There. I didn't really need one there, did I? Nope. That's okay. There we go. So much easier. Standing up there and digging down each layer at a time, that's the long way to do this, and these towers of sand are so tall. Creepers everywhere. Now we do have explosion damage turned off on this server, mainly because, well, explosion damage stinks. And I still don't understand why half the time the creeper explodes and destroys a huge hole, and the other times it just doesn't do any damage to anything at all, other than blowing you up, of course. So, in lieu of that, we've just turned off explosion damage. Alright, so I'm going to cut here and come back when I've cleared this mess off. Wanted to come back here really quick. I got to the start of the underpass here. Found that I actually never really dug up here to put in this piece, so I actually created sort of a conservative cut, I guess you could call it, across here, which actually works out well since I have all this weight on top of it. But we didn't make it so far. We've made it to the oh, rats. We've made it to the what is this thing? I guess that would be an underpass. Well, it will be an underpass now for the train. So we've made it this far. Slow going, but we're gonna do it. And I think we've got well, we don't have much in the way of room left, but we'll have to sort that out in here in a bit. But be back either when we find something more interesting or when we go to storage to drop all this off. Alright, so we're heading back to drop everything off at storage. There's a couple different ways in here, but here's the way we're going in. Hobbit hole storage. There we go. We've got everything nicely ordered here in floor 1. Got a couple of rooms there. Oh, we've gotten stuck. There we go. And we've got an additional structure already carved out down here. We don't have any chests down here yet, but we do have this structure all ready to go as soon as Hobbit Hole 1 upstairs gets full. Looks like we're missing some torches, but putting them on the top, I guess. There we go. Oh, well. There. Alright, so we finished clearing that out. At least that part of it. I cleared up to a particular point, and then I came back and I made this cut here to kind of indicate where I was going to start the wall. And next, I think I'm going to have to take this area out and then level everything off. I am being invaded currently. Die. There. Oh, you too, huh? Okay. Alright. There. Alright, so I've got to level this off to this general location here. And then we should be able to lay down the initial foundation. We'll be back when we start foundation laying. But I think I want to build the building right up against this sandstone wall that's keeping back the moat, because that seems to me to be a logical position to put it in. So I'm going to put some piles here to kind of denote where I think, looks like this goes right here, where I think we're going to put this. And then we'll just lay down a straight line here. square out our foundation. The question is, how far do I want to go? If I go to here, you know, I might just go to this point. So then 2 on top of there to try to give a position, and now we need to just, looks like here to there. Is that lined up? That's lined up. So then that becomes our foundation. It's going to be a very large building, but that's fine. And now we have to decide what we want to build this foundation out of. Now, we're relatively limited in what I can do. Really have the option of cobblestone, stone brick. I guess I could go make some brick if I could find a bunch of clay. But I don't know if I want brick. And cracked stone brick is not accessible to me in survival mode. So I need to make a decision on what I'm going to use. And I think I might go with cobblestone, at least initially. In the long run, I can always use World Edit to fix whatever I don't like. Was that on my cobblestone? No. So I'd rather know up front what I'm going to use. But if I maybe make this first run or first floor, because it's sort of a basement-ish floor, could make it out of cobblestone. Oops. Let's fix that. Oop. Good grief. Make it out of cobblestone, then we should be able to figure what we want to do later. So I'm going to go ahead and build the first floor out of cobblestone, and then we'll step back and look at it and see if we like it. So we'll be back when we get that done. So I changed my mind. I was doing solid cobblestone through here, and then I changed my mind because it just didn't look right. So we went with an alternating banded scheme. Sandstone kind of draws in this desert feel. It also links in with this sandstone train station that we have going on here. And then the stone block. I'm not 100% sold on the stone block because it is basically the entire structure of the castle, and, well, most of the town actually, but I think it looks good so far. I do need to bring it up at least one more level, and then I have to figure out how to deal with this, because this will become sort of an under area, sort of the area, I guess, where you would maybe put your machinery or something like that, whereas the other floors, of course, would be your living floors and office or whatever we're going to put there. But well, for right now, we're going to go with this banded scheme, I think. And having made all these happy decisions and sort of gotten started, I think we're going to call it for today. And then I'm going to do some of this off screen and see what I come up with going forward.